Hey, y'all. And you see, we're in the same clothes because we just did another video. It's magic. Okay, I'm going to start with a quote. Everybody wants to make an impression, some mark upon the world. Then you think you've made a mark on the world if you just get through it. And if few people remember your name, then you've left a mark. This quote, attributed by Dorian Corey, appears at the end of the latest episode of Pose, Butterfly Cocoon.
That was me faking, by the way. I wasn't really sleeping.
So yes, we're talking about Dorian Corey.
You want to read that?
As well. Dorian Corey was born in 1937. She passed away on August 29, 1993.
Corey was born as Frederick Legg in Buffalo, New York, to Franklin Legg and Mary Fox Clark out of wedlock, though they later married October 18th of 1947.
Out of wedlock, I love how to say it.
What does it matter if it's wedlock? I seriously don't understand the whole...
Raised on a farm in Buffalo, she began performing... I wonder if it's a Buffalo farm. Performing in drag and later transitioned into a woman when leaving the city.
In the 1950s, she worked as a window dresser, in a Buffalo department store hangers before moving to New York City to study art at Parsons, the New School for Design.
In the 1960s, she toured as a snake dancer in the Pearl Box Revue, a cabaret drag act.
Cabaret act?
Yeah, drag act.
Well, she was one of 4 performers who appeared in the 1972 Pearl Box Revue LP, Call Me Mr., but with S's.
Like Miss
Mr.
Corey was also the founder of voguing House of Corey.
Okay. She held over 50 grand prizes from the voguing balls.
Balls, yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, the thing makes it look like an eye.
She was also house mother to Angie Extravaganza, who later became a mother of her own house and was also in Paris is Burning.
Okay, I recently learned what they mean when they say that you're a mother but you're not a woman. What you're, like drag people. Okay?
I didn't know.
I recently learned about this before I moved from Oklahoma. My manager, Chris, was a drag queen. And apparently being called a mother means that you have taught other drag queens how to be more, drag. You've given them makeup tips, you've given them,
So you're their
dance
mother,
tips.
you're
You're basically teaching them how to be a drag queen, so you're their mother.
And you're probably older, so you're
Exactly.
more
So I just thought that was really interesting, and I thought I'd give you guys that information, because
that.
that's something kind of cool to me.
That is really cool.
I don't remember if it's, I think it's RuPaul has a song called Call Me Mother.
This lady was before RuPaul, by the way.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, that gives you some idea of why people say
they always
she
say
was a
RuPaul's
mother.
one of the first drags, but she was actually...
No, she was just one of the first out drags on TV and shit. That's all
she was in movies, too.
I know, but she was trans after she became drag.
Which we'll have to do a video about when they first came out with the transition. It's a lot earlier than when you think it is.
Oh, yeah. The Queen put drag on screen long before RuPaul's Drag Race and even Paris is Burning.
Paris is Burning, one of her movies. With appearances from Andy Warhol, Eddie Sedgwick, and Dorian Corey, Frank Simon's 1968 documentary is a queer cinema treasure.
Queer cinema treasure. Corey also ran and designed a clothing label called Corey Design.
At one point, Corey's act involved her wearing a 30 by 40 foot feather cape. I just can't Once she shed her costume down to a sequined body stocking, two attendants raised the cape up on poles to produce a feathered tent that covered half the audience.
Holy shit.
That just makes me think of the birdcage.
That's a lot. That's just so much, you know? It's like, why would you go that over the top?
That's what drag is.
Yeah, but that's so much more than what I know for drag shows, you know?
I love drag shows.
I've only
They're
been to
so much
one.
fun.
On August 29th, 1993, Corey died of AIDS-related complications at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center in Manhattan at the age of 56. The poor thing.
I was trying to show you guys the pictures of her older and younger.
Her's a pretty lady.
When she passed away, her friend, this is when things get interesting.
Okay.
Friend Louise Taylor, a fellow drag queen, began selling Corey's costumes. It was around Halloween, October 1993, 2 months after Corey passed away. While going through a closet in her apartment on 140th Street in Manhattan, Taylor unearthed a suitcase so heavy she couldn't lift it. What's in the suitcase?
Taylor said the sight of a musty green plaid garment bag folded over on the floor piqued their collective interest.
Yeah, it was like a carpet bag, you know, those little...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mary Poppins style.
Yeah. She cut the suitcase open and a horrible stink came out of the... This is like literally what she said. A horrible stink came out of the dusty fabric bag, Taylor told New York Magazine in 1994. I kept a lot of her quotes because she's hilarious.
That's when we called the police, 'cause, honey, I wasn't chancing it, she explained.
Honey,
Honey, I wasn't chancing it.
After her death, the preserved body of Robert Worley, a.k.a. Robert Wells, who was last seen in 1968, was found in Corey's belongings with a gunshot wound to the head. Don't mess with the drag queen.
What is that, like 30 years of stench that she lived with in her apartment and nobody noticed? I don't know, man. I don't know. Stupid flies. Peeling through multiple layers, first the bag's fabric, then tape wrappings of what was likely naugahyde. Oh, that's why you couldn't smell it. She wrapped it in stuff. A type of faux leather and plastic. Detectives revealed a grisly sight. Partially mummified body in the fetal position. Its formerly brown complexion, now purple and yellow. Its
Graphic content.
Graphic content. Its ears mirror cartilaginous vestiges. Its blue and white boxer shorts tattered with a bullet hole in its head.
Yummy.
Ugh.
Despite the technical hurdles posed by decay, Figueroa managed to extract fingerprints from the corpse.
You should have put graphic content.
I know, I forgot.
Sorry, guys. You'll have to put graphic content at the beginning of the video so people know.
Warning, graphic. They're going to be like, why are we talking about a drag queen in this? Why is it graphic?
Encased within the layers, Detective Raul Figueroa observed were detachable pull tabs from flip-top beer cans, whose prime in the United States ranged from the 1960s to the 1970s. So she was a murderer.
Yes, but no one who socialized or lived with Corey during that time ever recalled her mentioning Worley, let alone confessing to killing him.
Some of Corey's fellow drag queens speculated that she had shot Worley during a failed robbery. And why wouldn't she just say something?
Because back then, being drag queen, it was
Oh,
a big deal.
yeah, they would have taken her down for murder even if it was self-defense.
Mm-hmm. However, a reporter for New York Magazine was able to dig up some clues as to their relationship. Worley's brother, Fred, claimed that Bobby had called him while drunk and rambled extensively to someone named Dorian, having apparently fought with her.
Lois Taylor also told the reporter that Corey had written a short story about a transgender woman who killed her lover in revenge after he pressured her to have a sex change.
Investigators determined the body had been dead for approximately 15 years. It is further speculated that Worley was an abusive ex-lover of Corey's, or that Corey may have murdered him in self-defense, romantic quarrel, or during a potential robbery, as such type of abuse was common at the time. See, like it would have been nothing. Oh, you're just beating up a drag queen.
Richard Mailman, who wrote the play Dorian's Closet, told Atlas Obscura he thinks that disposing of the body would have been too conspicuous in congested Manhattan, so Corey covered it in baking soda and wrapped it tightly to neutralize the inevitable odor. Oh, that's why you couldn't smell anything.
Here's a little bit about the murder victim. Robert Bobby Worley was born in December 18th, 1938. The only extant records from Worley's life were criminal. He'd been arrested for raping and assaulting a woman in 1963 and served 3 years in prison.
By most accounts, he was estranged from his family and hadn't been seen since the mid to late 60s.
Coupling with the Figaro's pull-tab dating method, detectives concluded the shooting must have happened at least 20 years prior.
Corey lived in later 20th century Harlem, where violent crime ran rampant. Livingston recalled numerous gunfights outside Corey's apartment during interviews for the film.
For her own protection, she presumably owned a gun. Her friend Jessie Torres affirmed she had a little .22 in an interview shortly after news of the murder surfaced.
More telling, Corey had allegedly attached a note to the body reading, "This poor man broke into my home and was trying to rob me."
The theory suggests a possible reason she kept the body. A black drag queen who lived in a poor, dangerous area in the 1960s or 70s had little chance of garnering sympathy from the police.
After death, her cremated remains were sent back to Buffalo, New York, but were unclaimed and later disposed of. Nevertheless, an image of Corey is sometimes found in voguing events where her image and legacy are memorialized.
So, why do you think she killed him?
I think the robbery, probably.
He probably broke in, saw a lady.
Tried to rape her.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize it was a drag queen. Or a trans person.
I think she was taking estrogen. I don't think she had any surgery. I know she had a breast.
That's not the point.
But I'm just telling you, like, yeah.
Because she was very pretty, so you can...
Like, you can hardly tell.
Maybe he started to rape her, and then she was like, by the way, I have a dick.
Or he realized she had a dick.
Or that, until she shot him. I don't know.
Did you...
Theories abound.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any more videos you want to see.
Or if there's any information we maybe missed.
It's just kind of a little unknown snippet about a drag queen. We try to cover a lot of LGBTQ friendly stuff on here. Like I said, I think I'll do a video on transitioning from the beginning, like the first type of surgeries to now, so people kind of have a better understanding.
And we'll make sure to tell you about graphic content in the future.
Yeah.
Sorry about
that. A lot of my videos are graphic, because I don't want to keep out
information.
Evidence, because I think it's important that you guys know how somebody passed away.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you. Like and subscribe. Bye.